lot about in this preseason already and stuff. How has he grown and improved in the last year since he's arrived?
Maturity, just focus on little things. He's a hell of a player. I mean, he's playing great for us right now at the Z spot and taking over for Tylen. And we wanted to get in that second half of, the Miami game. So to kind of see where we were with him. He's taken on that role. When he first came in, there was a little bit of, I'm pretty good. Just let me play. I can do whatever I want to do. And he's bypassed that now, man. He is all in and hitting the depths in his routes that we need him to hit. He's catching the ball how we need him to catch it. He's leading the other guys. I mean, it's a full 180, and he's killing it right now.
He said he kind of wanted to do his own thing. How did you rein him in? How did you get him to kind of go where you want him to go?
Well, I don't know about that. I think Coach Gundy had a lot to do with it. During the spring, Coach and Tay had a lot of meetings and heart-to-heart times, and so I'm not taking the credit for that. That's Coach Gundy all the way, and it's also Tay. Tay's got this vision for himself for the next 10 years, and it's playing national football, NFL football. So he's driven right now, and a lot of seniors are, but he certainly has taken it and run with it. So.
Coach, how's Jaylen Warren been fitting in this fall?
Fantastic, great transfer, love him to death, brings a toughness to us, gets downhill, with his runs. There's not a lot of, chopping his feet in the backfield. I mean, he takes that thing and hits it downhill. He's good in protection, and he's a great team guy. So he's rounded out that room really well.
You've had the full spring, the full summer. How much more comfortable are you going into this fall camp than maybe you were last year, just as an OC?
Oh, well, much. I mean, not only within what we're doing offensively, but just all the bells and whistles and crap that came along with last year. That was certainly a trial by fire. There are a lot of things going on. Who's playing from week to week? Who's going to get contact tracing on a Friday? There's all those things that factored in and changed how the game plan went. It's a very fluid situation throughout the year. It's not like we can just line up and play cover three. You don't do that. So all of a sudden you lose a Chuba or you lose a Tylen. That changes your game plan. When you're trying to get marquee players to football, that's what happens. So it was a little bit of yes. I mean, there's some stuff there, but really for me, I've been in the system for 10 years. This is my 11th season. This isn't it's not new to me. It's not foreign to me. So I've been in a lot of meetings that have set game plans and handled a lot of the past game and in the past. So it's nothing new. Really, it was just all the things that happened to us last year. That's what made it hard.
Kasey, one of your best quotes in the spring was, especially coming from a guy who's been coaching wide receivers, how badly you wanted to get the run game back to where you remember it from a couple of seasons ago. Mm-hmm. Talk about the running back room, the overall talent, not just Jaylen, but all of those guys coming together with the offensive line improvement and coming together with what you saw in the spring and what you want to see this fall.
Sure. Yeah, we want to be efficient just running the football, and we want to crease a couple here and there. Our explosive runs were higher 2 years ago than they were, last year. So that's something that we've got to address. The tailback room is deep, so we'll be fresh, and the offensive line room is deep. So, if we have an injury, we're not shuffling guys around. I feel bad for Sills. He played almost every position on the offensive line last year. That's not going to be the case this season. If someone goes down, we're not into this shuffling guys around trying to make it work for every game and game to game. So I like where we're at with the tailbacks. I really do. How they've come together with the offensive line. I think we've simplified the run game. It's better for them. And I'm looking forward to it. I think we're in a really good position to run the ball downhill at people and then try and open up the pass game.
I saw you come down today during stretch and talk to Spencer and the quarterbacks and Coach Rattay. This is different for Mike, for Coach Gundy, in that you're the first offensive coordinator he's had that didn't at least hang with the quarterbacks. Most of them were quarterback coaches. Mm-hmm. How is that relationship, yours with Tim's and his room?
Tim's fantastic. I like to sit in and just listen to what he says to the quarterbacks. He's as good a quarterback coach as I've been around. I mean, he's really good. So I like to go down there, just pick his brain on things. I want to listen to what he says to the QBs in their meeting room, because if something happens, and Lord knows we're not out of the woods yet with COVID, if something should happen to anybody and they get contact traced or Tim can't do it, I want to be able to step into that room and help those quarterbacks out and say the same things, use the same terminology. So, I sit in there from time to time and listen to him coach and talk to the QBs. But, at the end of the day, I've got to, it's my job. overseeing the whole thing, and it's my responsibility. So I just want to make sure that, you know, we're targeting the right guys first, and then moving through our progression. So, you know, there's times where we're going to talk about some things and hash it out. So today was one of them.
How unique is it for you and your wide receiver group to have a guy leading the stretches, leading the drills, who's never even started technically for you guys yet, and Brendan Presley?
Yeah, him and obviously Blaine Green too. But Brendan's great. You know, he's a great leader. When you see him work out through the summer and just watch those guys run and train, he's always in the front. You know, when he does stadium stairs, he's always in the front. When he does the hundreds, always in the front. And you know, sounds like a broken record, but for me, it's fantastic. He's going to be. I've got a bunch of guys right now that are young that'll be great leaders for a long time. I mean, probably the next 4 years or so. So right now, that's Braden. You know, he's the one that's the leader in our room, and Tay Martin stepped into a leadership role as well. Brennan does a great job by example. I'm sure it'll be his when those guys step out of the room. But
How valuable was his opportunity late in the season last year? The fact that, you know, no matter what, he essentially has an extra year of eligibility because of the pandemic and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But to get essentially that opportunity,
yeah, he's a true freshman right now.
Right,
fantastic.
Right.
Yeah. So and there are a lot of guys that are in that boat too. So yeah, they're in the same boat. Brennan's in the same boat as the Green twins and Jaden Bray and you know, John Paul, the kids that just came in January. So it's fantastic. I love it. You know, his opportunity in the Miami game. A lot of it's by design. It's the same thing with Tay. You know, we wanted to put those guys out on the field, see what's going to happen, because we knew that there was going to be a transition there. It's not like we thought that Dylan was going to come back or Tylen was coming back or Landon. We'd already known that those guys were moving on. So at that point, it's you know, what's the spring going to look like? How's this going to transition into the next season, you know, into 2021? So I'm glad we did it. The kid was productive, and it pushed him forward as being a leader. It pushed him forward with his growth as a receiver and inside. His confidence, you know, soared after the game, so he's playing well.
I remember you saying late in the season that, you know, that his IQ, you could see it improving in practice and whatnot, so that's why you finally wanted to give him an opportunity. I think it was in the Kansas State game. Mm-hmm. Where have you seen his IQ from that Miami game to now? How has it progressed?
Now it's just faster. Everything just clicks a little bit quicker with him. So, you know, decisions that are being made on routes, you know, and stems and releases and all those things, he's just more comfortable, you know, and makes the decision quicker. He was off the line of scrimmage a little bit slow last year. That's one thing we tried to address with him. If we're going to get specific on things, it's just being able to fly off the football. He was a little hesitant coming off the ball, seeing coverage, and then trying to figure out, okay, hey, what does Coach Dunn want me to run on this? Does he want me to go inside, go out, whatever? So, you know, now he's pretty sure about what he's doing, and he's playing faster, and consequently, it lets the quarterback get the ball out faster. So all those things help the offensive line too. You know, when the ball's gone, it's good for those guys.
Obviously, the spring was good, but one of the things you can generally tell the first 2 or 3 days of fall camp is how invested your guys were in the summer. That kind of is a reflection of what you do the first few days. What are your thoughts there?
Absolutely true. So, you know, if the guys are getting after it and they invest over the summer, they're gonna be able to go into the bank. That's what we tell them all the time. They're gonna go to the bank and be able to withdraw some cash. Well, the season is when you withdraw that money. You know, if they don't invest over the summer and in spring, it's pretty hard to go in there and make a withdrawal when the season hits. So right now we've got a lot of guys with money in the bank, and I'm excited to see them, you know, go to the bank come first game of the season. So they've had a great summer, and I'm looking forward to seeing the season.
You mentioned the Green twins too. How do you see them fitting into the system, and how have they grown since they've been here in the spring?
Well, they're fortunate that they came in January. So they were able to go through, you know, winter workouts with Coach Glass and his strength staff, and you know, they're bigger and stronger. I think they came in at 205 or something like that, maybe just a little under. Now they're 220, you know, so they're 6'2", 220, and just monsters out there. And they know the system, you know, and when freshmen come in like that in January, they learn where Walmart is. They know where to go get their hair cut. They go down the street. Well, when they come in August, that's not the case. They're figuring everything out. So they knew all those things, you know, within the first month, and then just continually just started to grow and grow and grow. They're going to factor into this season in a big way, you know. Trying those guys out at the X position right now, amongst other guys. Langston's over there as well, and I might even push Jaden Bray over there to check that thing out. But they're certainly the front runners for that spot right now.
What's it like to still have Tyson Wallace around the program working with the guys?
Trayson's awesome. He's awesome. You know, heart still goes out to that kid because he's such a great person, great kid. He was going to be an excellent player for us. And for him to lose, his football career off of those knee injuries was devastating to him and to me. But to have him with me now coaching, invaluable. The guy's awesome. He does a great job being around the recruits. He does a great job with our players. They respect him. Once he stepped into the role as a coach, there was no gray area with our players. I mean, he immediately fit into that role, and the players respected him as such. And that's hard to do. For a young guy coming in and coaching major college football, that's hard to do. And I'd throw him into positions where he had to do it too, just to go in there and run the room by himself for a little bit. And, it's helped him grow. And I've got the utmost confidence in him when I turn something over to him.